Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to achieve this beautiful, natural, glowy summer skin. I've been loving this look because it's not too heavy, doesn't feel too cakey, and as an added bonus, it is sweat-proof. So if you are interested in achieving this look, keep on watching. To start off, I'm going to be using the Wander Beauty Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil, and I'm going to apply this all over my face. So I'm going to use about 2 to 3 drops of this and rub it into my face. Make sure you rub it in until it's fully absorbed. And you can see that this is going to give me a really nice glowy base to start off with. So you can already see that natural glow kind of coming through. Next, I'm going to go in with my IT Cosmetics CC Plus Illumination Full Coverage Cream. Now this is like a foundation CC cream all in one. The coverage on this is absolutely amazing. Now this is a CC cream, and for those of you who don't know what a CC cream is, it is like a color correcting foundation cream type of thing. But usually they're not very full coverage, but this one is. I absolutely love it. It is one of my favorite foundations for the summer. Gives you this really, really nice dewy look. It also has SPF 50 in it, so it gives you that sun protection as well, and it's anti-aging and color correcting, so many good benefits of this. I'm using the color Tan, and I usually take about 2 pumps of this, and I go ahead and apply it all over my face with a beauty blender. And normally you guys know that I go in with a color corrector, but the coverage on this is so good, and this foundation feels so lightweight that I don't even need to go in with a color corrector. I want to avoid using it because, again, I want to keep my base very soft and dewy, but also not very heavy either, because you don't want to be wearing so much makeup in this type of heat. So you can already see the difference it's made on one side. It's really covered up my dark circles really well, and it's just given me this really nice natural dewy look in and around this area especially. You can see how illuminated my skin looks, and this was because of the combination of the foundation and from the oil that I used before, and it's just giving me this really nice natural glow. And I absolutely love this foundation because you can see how well it covered up my dark circles, but also those scars that I had around my nose area from like these pimples that I picked, because I picked my pimples. Okay, next. Next, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the color Golden Beige. I love this concealer because it gives me really nice full coverage without feeling super heavy. So I just applied that all over my eyes, and I'm just going to take a little bit onto my nose and on top of that pimple scar, just so it covers it up a little bit better. And again, just going ahead and blending this out with a beauty blender, like so. Next, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier Glow Translucent Setting Powder. Now this is pretty much like the original Laura Mercier powder, but it has this glow effect to it. So when your face hits the light in certain angles, it gives this really nice illumination to your skin. I'm going to use my beauty blender to set around my eyes, and then also brush on this powder into the highest point of my cheekbones. Now before I go in and set my eyes, I want to make sure that all the concealer is blended out and that there are no creases, because if I go and I set my eyes with a powder and there's creases, it'll end up setting the creases as well, and you're just going to have creases throughout the day. So I'm just going to go ahead and set my eyes with this powder, like so. And I don't like to set too heavily. Again, the more powder you put on, the more caked your face is going to feel, and the more it'll reflect from the sun in the daylight. So basically you just want to use enough so that it sets, but don't overbake with it. I'm also going to set my face with this powder on the highest points of my cheeks. So basically where I would apply my highlighter, and also on the bridge of my nose and my forehead. So you can see how that nice natural glow is still peeking through. For the rest of my face, I'm going to set it with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder foundation in the color Beige. So I'm just going in with a kabuki brush and applying this powder on top of all the spots that I didn't put the Mercier illuminating powder on. And I'm going to use the leftover product of whatever's on the brush and just wipe it over the areas that I did put the illuminating powder on, so it all looks like it blends in nicely. You don't want to dip into the powder and apply it on top of the places where you put the glow powder, just because otherwise it'll end up looking way too matte. You still want that glow to peek through, so if you're just using the leftover product, it'll help make the colors look seamless in your skin while also keeping that illuminating look. You didn't want to use the Mercier glow powder everywhere because you want it to just hit the highest points that you want illuminated on your face. So your cheekbones, the bridge of your nose, your forehead, everywhere else you kind of want it to be a little bit more matted, because if your whole face was illuminated, then you're just going to look like this glowing ball, and you don't want that. You want your face to have some structure to it. So that's why you added more of this matte foundation everywhere else to give you that color, and then just the highest points have the highlighted glow powder. After I apply my powder, I find my lips get really, really dry. So before I go in and do anything else, I like to put on my Lano Lips 101 lip ointment. This helps hydrate my lips in the meantime while I'm doing the rest of my face. And so then by the time I get to actually putting on lipstick, it's not super wet and it's waxy enough so that when I put on my lipstick stays nicely while also keeping my lips hydrated. You can clearly tell that I love this stuff because the tube is so like battered up. I use this all the time. Now getting back to finishing off my skin, I'm going to go in with the NYX Bear With Me Hydrating Cheek Tint. Guys, this is such a phenomenal product. I am absolutely in love with it. So this is in the color Detox Me, which is this really nice orangey coral color, which is perfect for the summer. And I'm just gonna apply this to the apples of my cheeks. And you can apply it generously because this blends out really, really well. Again, the collection is called Bear With Me, so it ends up looking really, really natural on your skin once you blend it out. I'm gonna take the bottom of my beauty blender and just blend this out. And again, it just blends out so, so nicely and gives you this really nice natural flush to your cheeks. And because it is a cream blush, it keeps with that dewy, illuminated look. Okay, now for my favorite part, highlight. They call me Ready to Glow for a reason. So I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter, and this is in the color Molten Gold. This is like one of my favorite drugstore highlighters. Like Maybelline killed it with this product. So I'm gonna apply this on the highest points of my cheekbone, and I'm also gonna take it right under my brow bone too. So I'm pretty much gonna follow this V right here. Look how pretty that highlight is. Like, it really makes your cheekbones pop. And then I'm also gonna highlight the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and my upper lip. This summer skin is really coming together. Now to finish off my skin, I'm going to go in with the Benefit Cosmetics Hoola Bronzer in Caramel. I want to apply this bronzer into the hollow parts of my cheeks. So you can kind of see right under the highest point of my cheekbone, there's parts where you can push in, and that's exactly where you want to apply this bronzer. And I normally start right at the top of where my ear is. And then I concentrate most of the product out here and then bring in the leftover product here, so it's a nice gradual transition. Everyone always raved about this Hoola bronzer, and I never really used it because the color, the original Hoola bronzer, didn't match my skin tone. And since they came out with the caramel one, and I think that the darker one is called Toasted, I've been in love. Like, this has been my favorite bronzer all summer. Like, it just blends out so well and looks so natural to my skin tone. And I'm also just gonna bring the contour up slightly, like in between where my highlight and contour color would meet, and blend it up into my highlight just slightly, again using leftover product, and that way my skin looks like it has like a nice seamless transition. I'm also gonna contour the sides of my forehead with leftover product. I don't contour my forehead a lot because I don't have a forehead, so Yeah. And I'm gonna apply some of this on the sides of my nose. I don't heavily contour my nose either, just because I find my nose pretty small, but I still want to give it some shape. And I do this actually to a lot of clients, even if they feel like they don't like the shape of their nose. Just by slightly brushing over your nose with this bronzer, it gives it more of a shape that looks natural. It looks more contoured, but also gives it a natural contour rather than it being so defined. So it's great for like an everyday look, and then if you want to go ahead and contour your nose to make it look more snatched when you're going out, then you can do so. But this is perfect for every day, and it doesn't look too cakey when you're out in the sun. So we're almost done. I'm gonna finish setting my face with the Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face Setting Spray. Now, I am a fan of how this setting spray works and how it like makes my skin look, but I'm not a huge fan of the smell. I find it really, really strong. So if you're not into scents, I would not recommend this, but it is a really good setting spray. It makes your makeup waterproof, and it just like helps everything settle into your skin really nicely. And I would also recommend holding the setting spray pretty far from your face, because again, it can be very irritating with how strong the fragrance is. So that's pretty much it on how to achieve this beautiful, natural, illuminating, glowy skin for this summer. Now, if you're wearing something like I am, where you're showing like your collarbone and your shoulders, I also go in with the Wander Beauty Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil, and I actually apply this to my body too. So I just take a couple of drops and rub it into my body like so, just to give my body a really nice, natural, illuminating glow without it feeling really heavy like I put makeup all over my body. So you can see the difference that it made. It just gave my body this really nice, natural, illuminating glow. I look so stupid doing this. All right, now that my skin is all done, I'm gonna go throw on the rest of my face so you guys can see the finished look. So be right back. So guys, this is the final look. I just did my everyday makeup look, which I like to keep really natural and simple. So I just threw on some mascara, my eyebrows, and a nice soft lip color. And sometimes I also like to smoke out a little bit of black eyeshadow on my lash line just to give my eyes a little extra oomph. So that's basically how I achieve my natural, dewy, illuminating summer skin. And as I mentioned before, this is sweat-proof too. Now, if you have super, super oily skin, that's a bit different. Or if you tend to sweat a lot, I would just make sure you keep some blotting papers on you. That's something that you can't naturally like stop from happening completely, but it will last you hours before that starts happening. But for those people that have that issue, I would just keep some blotting papers on you and it'll keep your makeup in place. But for people that have like dry to normal skin, this will last you all day. And the way that it stays sweat proof is by the powders that I put on it. If you apply a powder on top of a liquid, it helps keep everything in place, whereas liquids tend to melt easily from the sun, so they'll tend to move around a lot. So if you don't place a powder on top of it, you'll tend to find that your foundation moves and then your face will get really sweaty and oily because of the heat. And the Huda Beauty setting spray that I used is waterproof, so that just helps keep everything in place even better. Alright guys, that's all I have for you for today. If you did like this tutorial, please do not forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. You do not want to be missing out on any future content. And always, thank you guys so much for all the love and support you constantly show me. I will see you guys next time. Bye!